I was browsing the workshop this morning, as one does when they do this sort of thing, and I found this new-ish total conversion mod, alternative history mod called Lords of Arbundia, War of the Shattered Realms. It is apparently a small project made by a solo developer. It's in a beta. It says, enter the world of Avaraya, a land of great opportunity for those ready to conquer. To the north of the continent lies the shattered Arbundian Erandums, or kingdoms, where development of this mod began. Followers of the Gravetican religion founded by the maiden Gravetica many hundreds of years ago after her miraculous acts proved her divinity, the Arbundians suffer constant raids via Gravetica's Tears, the island crossing which connects the Arbundian realms to the Castagonian raider king chiefdoms. South of Arbundia are the various small realms that make up the bulk of the continent. One of the sole Erandums is Mon Grel, bureaucratic horse lords. Though the Magracy of Welgrave and the breakaway Erandum of Brookwell halt their expansion to the west are the broken realms of Urada and Herica, a small island of stoic defenders and a smattering of lords barely able to raise armies better equipped than peasants respectively. Further south lie the tribal realms of Tevra and Thrisbane. Though recent converts to Colicism, they still raid their fellow Colicus neighbors in their Erandums of Therorak and Syria. Thalarak is a large Erandum currently fractured amongst the descendants of Eogandros, the last Aaron to be able to hold the large mountain realm, though Rytheros II looks prepared to unify his people after the slaughter of many of his relatives. Lastly, we find Syria, a small peaceful Erandum barely able to control their borders. This mod took me a long time. It is well over 600 counties, 70 duchies, 3 religions, and 9 cultures. I have some small features like my recent Ambitious Conquest War and Splendid Brothers added alongside it. The mod is currently fully playable, however, as this is a solo project that is still very much in beta. There are gaps in my abilities, so I would suggest you use mods like Viet Advanced to spice things up, as I'm not very knowledgeable about event modding. There are probably some bugs or things I have missed, not fully covered. If you find anything, please let me know so I can fix or improve it. They've begun adding a new region as well for the steppe. And this is pretty cool. You know, I'm always a big fan. So I thought we would jump in here, and this is the initial bookmark. This is the Shattered Realms. The lands of Arbundia have descended into chaos. The Yodan lords struggle to find a leader to stave off the raids of the Castagonians with from Gravetican's crossing. Aerolingian Arons have lost their grip on their former vassals, leading to lesser lords looking to usurp the former Aerolingian Erandum. Finally, the southern realms have begun to unite, with eyes turning to the leaderless Arbundian lands. Can faith in Gravetica alone save her people? What will the fate of Arbundia be? Interesting. So it actually sounds like there's quite a bit of lore going on here. And it looks like all of these people worship Gravetica, so some sort of saint. Let's see. The Magracy of Pelennor has been on somewhat of an ascendancy as of late. Though her mother Sarwyn died young, she laid the groundwork for the rise of Penlorian against their former masters in the crumbling Aerolingian Erandum. Now Erebus has reached her majority. Where will her diligent education take her? Can she take her realm to greatness and unite the Arbundians, or is her line doomed to obscurity? And then you have Abland, a man with an eye for the ledgers. The petty Aaron was born too late to save his father's crumbling Erandum. With a stubborn mind and a generous hand, what few vassals Abland has left are unsure if he can stay the course and return the realm to greatness, or if he will give what little he has left away to nothing. Can you guide the Aerolingians back to their former glory, or are they to be forgotten? And then we have Balat Abluris. Some of these names are so tough for me to read, especially early in the morning. The second son of a would-be conqueror, Baralt, and Baralt alone was the only son capable of holding what little remains of his father's legacy. A man of great ambition, Baralt has his eyes set on his former lands in the Magracy of Garoth. Will this second son be given his second chance to regain his upstart father's land and bring the glorious name to greatness? Well, you have to find out. And then we also have the Aeroling, which it reminds me of Lord of the Rings. While his elder brother honed his skills in administration, that would be this guy, Anglin Taruth put his hand to more practical matters, convinced that a strong sword arm is what it takes to make a realm. Taruth believed he can put together the pieces of Aerolingio back together with a glue made of marrow and blood. That's actually pretty sick. Can you guide Taruth's hand to a further conquest, or is he doomed to be no more than a belligerent aggressor? I'd probably play as this guy, or maybe this guy. That sounds pretty sweet, but let's play as any ruler just to look at the map. We'll look at the culture and stuff. We'll check out what's here, and you guys can decide if you want to play it for yourself. This is already really sweet, though. A lot of lore. I love that. Okay, so we loaded in. This is what the map looks like, apparently, on the table. So quite small. There is apparently a work-in-progress steppe region, which looks... I mean, let's look at the map painting work done so far. It honestly looks pretty solid. It has this very fertile, beautiful river valley for a lot of great farmlands and stuff. So this would be, obviously, if you're a steppe warrior, a place that you would want to be heading over and conquesting. So let's just go into observe here. And honestly, the map looks really solid. I like the effect that's going on here. There's a lot of different... 600 counties is a ton. Let's open up and go. So we have the only kingdom, remember, is Mongrel. They were talking about that on there. I'm not sure, you know, because I get all turned around. Are they up here? Okay, so that's up here. Way up here. So that's the Penlorian. Gravetican, the Graveticanist faiths, which there apparently... there's just Graveticanism. Okay. We won't worry about that too much. What are the de jure kingdom titles? Interesting. The Viata Kingdom has a pretty sweet coat of arms. Actually, I really like the Grand Theocracy one. That looks sweet. Mongrels is also really cool. Let's see. Some of these are pretty sweet. I am a fan of that. I'm just going to go through the map modes just so you guys can actually see. So we have a couple different faiths. We have Corvin. I will read all of these just because I don't typically do that, but there's not as many, but we'll do it anyway. So we have Corvinism. Corvinism is a religion forged in blood and iron. It exalts tribal strength, the glory of warfare, and the potent spirits inhabiting the land. Its traditions assert that the strong shall govern and the weak shall yield. Corvinists perceive Graviticans and Luminarians as threats. Their foreign creeds a corrosive influence that must be purged from their shores, driven back into the sea from which they emerged millennia ago. A valiant death in battle or a voluntary ritual sacrifice is considered the ultimate honor, ensuring prosperity for future generations. Witchcraft permeates daily life, binding the wise to the unseen forces that shape destiny. That's pretty sweet. Oh, they have this, which I'm not going to read out loud, but that's actually, I don't think I've ever seen that tenet before. I'm sure it exists in other mods, but that's really cool, actually. Bunch of different holy sites. I do wonder if there's any special buildings, because you know I'm a big fan of those, but we'll get to that in a second. Graveticanism exalts the divine legacy of Gravetica, the rebellious prophet who ascended beyond mortality, defying the northern raiders that sought to destroy her new home. Her miracles served as a guide to her followers who strive to emulate her wisdom and compassion. Graveticans believe that only by willingly embracing Gravetica's revelations can one attain true enlightenment and salvation. So they like communion, monasticism, they have a bunch of like normal virtues, so they're very like pious, which makes sense. Luminarian is the biggest one on here. A millenary faith rooted in the sacred scriptures of the prophets. Luminarianism upholds strict interpretations and adheres to divine law. Luminarians believe that true enlightenment is found through disciplined study and unwavering devotion to the celestial order dictated by the luminary. Okay, so they're very like legalistic. That's interesting. We have the Sylvans, which this looks like sort of a druidic faith, is a deep and abiding kinship with the natural world. Its followers are bound to the spirits of the forest. This reverence for nature extends to a profound respect for their ancestors and their families, who are seen as extensions of the land itself. Okay, their connection to the land becomes a source of unparalleled strength, fueling a ferocious defense against any perceived intrusion to protect their way of life. They probably get a cultural bonus to defense then, because they have warmongering and sanctity of nature. That's really cool. Okay, so there's a bunch of not active faiths, but in the game currently there's only the 5, so we'll read the last one. This is Insular Luminarianism, a collection of diverse faiths stemming from Luminarianism. This sects reject the centralized authority of the High Seer. Instead, each realm interprets the scroll of revelation according to local customs and needs, resulting in a wide array of beliefs and practices. While they share a common origin, these sects often differ in their doctrines and rituals while still respecting each other's creeds and independence, reflecting the unique central landscape they inhabit. Let's look at the culture map. So there's actually quite a few of these. The Castagonians practice pirates. Okay, yeah, I would play as these guys. Yeah, I'd be playing as the pirate guys. They're bellicose, trials by combat, battlefield looters, prolific hunters, winter warriors. It's pretty much up my alley. What do we got here? Honestly, these guys too would also be really great, the mountain homes, because it looks like they're very defensive on the border country here. And I wonder if they have descriptions for any of these. Okay, so none for the cultures so far. That's when you know that a mod is like really further along though, because you don't technically need it. You can just like infer what they do based off of whatever this is. I'm definitely drawn more towards the Corvins or the Graveticans. The Corvins or the Insulists. These are both like some things that I would definitely pick. Let's see what we got down here. They have them. Oh, okay. So they're stalwart defenders, which makes sense. That's kind of what I figured they would have. These guys have, actually this one's pretty sweet. Forest folk, forest fighters, sacred grove, sacred hunts, only the strong, which only the strong is really good for certain men-at-arms bonuses. This guy's got a lot of troops, what the hell? Is this a kingdom? What am I looking at? Sorbin? Or was that this guy? Thrisbane. Oh, okay. So he is a king. So he would probably be working, and he looks like he has a claim on most of these things. So he'd probably be working on claiming most of this if you were playing as him. I see. Okay. Any unique men-at-arms? Actually, yep. Already. I found one. I wasn't even looking that hard. Grellan Lancers. So, okay, so we do have unique men-at-arms as well. Castagonian Spearmen. Anything else? Looks like they get Castagonian Spearmen. What do you guys get? You guys surely get something. Surely you get something. Do you not get anything? They're like very standard then. Farron Hill Riders. I mean, that's insane. Like, it looks like some of them get their own specific ones too, which is really, really cool. I mean, I'm a big pacifist. That's not what you want. Although it's actually, I have had an idea for a video for a while where I play as a small kingdom that only survives on having a bunch of wealth and then hiring mercenaries, sort of like a Venice situation. That could be cool. What is this? So there are some unique men-at-arms. They don't have like any flavor text, but that's pretty sweet. So we have cultures, we have houses. So there's a bunch of different houses. What I want to see is if we have... Are there any landless rulers? Doesn't look like it. Let's go economic buildings. So we just have some temples. It doesn't look like there's anything besides a bunch of temples, which is fine. You don't need them. These are just like holy sites, surely. So it's a lot of hills, a lot of forests, a lot of mountains. Actually, let's look at the map proper and just see what this is looking like. So honestly, the map painting, I really like the way it looks, the graphics of it on the ground floor. That's what I'm going to call it, the ground floor. It looks really nice. Let's see. Let's come up here where the mountainous region is. I kind of want to see what this looks like. Oh, yes. This is exactly what you'd want. Okay, so this would be difficult for them to properly cross over. It's sort of like the Pyrenees going into, what, Spain? That looks pretty sweet. That's really cool. So these would be like almost like the Gauls, and then this would be like Iberia. Kind of. Not really, but I don't know if that's like was the intention. It just reminds me of that. So you have this guy. He holds this. And he is, oh, the Defender of Gravetica has such few guardians in the mortal world. Oh, okay, so that is literally his nickname. That would make sense, too, because he's literally holding the line against them. Does anybody else have a unique nickname? I'm just going to flip through. Oh, the Thunderbolt. Like Hannibal? Like Hannibal, like the Barcas? Oh, this is Rotheros II. I remember hearing about him, yeah. They talked about him in the lore at the beginning, and it looks like a lot of his parents have died. Oh, I could see him having beef with these guys. It looks like... Oh, he killed his brother. This guy was slain in battle. This was assassinated by somebody. This guy was slain by somebody here. This guy was slain in battle. Slain in battle. Was slain in battle. I'm going to assume that both of these have a lot of beef with each other just through context clues here. Because that's kind of what it seems like that's going on. These two don't really particularly like each other. And there's a lot of claims along the border country. So that would be a fun one to try out. Interesting, interesting. Let's just hop into one of them. Let's go to the dude up here that I like the name of. Just to see if there's any decisions now, which would be like the only other thing that I would really be looking for in something like this. So it's very much a sandbox, which is fine. But what I'm liking so far, at least from this, is that there are a lot of cool, like, incentives to play. Like, you've clearly baked a lot of ideas into the lore for each of these religions, which is pretty much seems like the driving force of this world. Cold River, what a cool name. Actually, yeah, I wanted to check these out. So they get Arbundian cavalry. The heavy armored horsemen of the various Arbundian are randoms. Oh, okay. Oh, so they're Arbundian, they're Viadin. And what does he get? I just want to see. I just want to look. They also get Arbundian cavalry. Looks like everybody gets one unique one. The Threllan armored footmen. The Miner Lords. Oh, so they're like a mining culture. Ancient miners, yep. Okay, so these are like Life is Just a Joke. They're funny, they're quarrelsome, they're Highland Warriors, they're Hill Dwellers. So they're kind of like dwarves. Interesting. And see, that's a lot of thought put into, like, just already, like, what you got going on here. You have certain incentives, is what I was trying to say. You have, like, incentives around the map for people to do things, which I think is all you really need. You do need decisions and stuff like that. I saw that obviously in the Steam page. You said that you have trouble writing events, and that's totally fine. Somebody could help you out, of course. Maybe somebody will be interested after watching this video. That would be cool. But really, all you need is like the incentive. Like, you have it up here with a character like this. He's the defender. He's 27 years old, although he's a rough 27, but he's 27 years old. And realistically, his goal could be to finally secure the Northlands and then just get rid of this threat to his people, and then secure the Gravetican faith in the north so that they have a stronghold forevermore. We have this guy who maybe wants to like claim his de jure kingdom and create this land for this insular faith. Or you have somebody like, there's only a very small portion of Sylvans, so I feel like they would also want their own lands, which could be kind of a fun one to do. I don't know if they get their own stuff as well. These are Tevrin. Tevrin is a really small one. Kind of want to see what they get, if they get anything. Tevrin get Calarian Riders. Oh, they descend from tree spirits. Or raiders, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said riders. Okay, so yeah, you'd want to like maybe make a realm for them where they have like these sacred groves that they want. I wonder what their holy sites are actually, because then you could sort of work for there. You'd want to go this way, maybe this way. Create sort of like a big country for them. That could be cool. Like you have all these incentives, which I think it's what you want in a total conversion mod. Ideally, you want to have like a reason to keep playing and to do other things like this dude, or really any of them. I think that he's a good option though. I just keep like gravitating to him. He seems like he's probably the best bet. Or this guy, Chieftain Aldemar Gorst, although he's kind of like terrible. This guy seems okay. He's content though, which might cause you some issues. Whereas this guy's just calm and ambitious. So he seems to fit the idea that he would like start pushing north and like taking more of the mountain countries versus somebody like that. Or you have, where's that, this guy, the quarrelsome guy, he's, I mean, like really solid. Look at him. He would definitely want to, I think they're trying to retake, yeah, Arolingia. So they want to do that. So if you could reform Arolingia, that's like what him and his brother are trying to do. His brother kind of holds Arolingia. He holds a duchy, so he's like a petty king. So it's sort of like what Alfred the Great and like his brother. I think his brother was older, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, something like that. Like, this is really cool. I actually like this quite a lot so far. I'm wondering if, I mean, I could definitely do a video playing through this if people are interested. It would be pretty standard CK3, but I always like to highlight these newer total conversion mods. Mostly because, you know, people put a lot of time into this. I cannot even imagine how long this took. It looks like you've put a lot of thought and effort behind each of the like counties and the cultures and stuff and the sort of extra perks they get, which is more than I've seen from other total conversion mods. So obviously really well done. Looking forward to see what you do with the step. I'm sure it's going to be well thought out. You're working by yourself, you know, it's a lot. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys check out this mod. It's pretty sweet. I always like to make these little highlight videos just to show you what people are working on. And this is a lot of promise. So I hope that you continue the project. I hope that this video or, you know, the community gives you a small kick to just keep on going, because you definitely should. But that's it for me. As always, I'm Soul. This has been Lords of Arbundia, a total conversion mod that is currently in work by a single developer. This is the War of the Shattered Realms is the subtitle, and I will happily see you in the next one.